it seems to be becoming more and more obvious that this whistleblower Ukraine call impeachment thing was a total setup from the beginning. And the Democrats, it's funny because it's almost like they had this game plan, and instead of, I mean, maybe they just didn't have any audibles. Maybe that's what it was. They had this game plan. They're just sticking to it. And it's why it looks so silly. Imagine if President Trump hadn't released the transcript. Think about that. Like, play everything else out the way it's played out, but without us having the transcript. How bad does this sound? How bad does everything sound with these secret meetings and things like that? So you'd have Republicans complaining the same way they're complaining now, only we don't know what was said on the phone call, so nobody's really sure what's going on. And this is a play that they make all the time, and it's how they normally control Republican presidents. I fully believe that, is that they pull crap like this. And it was completely against everybody said he shouldn't release this transcript. They said it's a bad idea. There were a lot of people arguing that it decays trust with other world leaders, that they're, oh, so you're just going to release which I immediately pushed back on, because as long as he asked, which clearly that's what happened, as long as there was, the administration went to this foreign leader and said, hey, this is going on, we're going to release this trip. Do you care? Is there anything you want us to take out? Is there anything you just don't want released? Basically give them full reign on what they want to do, that was briefly talked about right after they released it. It was briefly discussed, but apparently that's what happened. So I would assume all of the world leaders are aware of that this isn't some, we're just going to release all of your conversations with us. Now, it appears to be genius because, again, I'll say it again, put yourself in the alternate reality where everything's playing out the same exact way, except for two things. We don't have the transcript. We've never seen the transcript. And you have Republicans who have seen the transcript, who can't release it and can't talk about it, arguing that there was nothing said in the transcript. And then you have all the media and all the Democrats and all the leaks coming out of these secret indictments or secret inquiries or secret whatever they're calling it today about how this person said this and this person said that, which now we all know is out of context because we have the transcript, so we know what was said. But imagine if we didn't have the transcript, how bad this would look. And it's almost like being a quarterback and being under center, and your team doesn't have any audibles, and you've got the entire defense about to blitz you, and you have no way out. So you just have to snap the ball and get sacked. I mean, that's just how that play is going to play out. And it seems like that's what's happening now. And I also am starting to wonder if Pelosi holding this vote. Now, there's been some discussion about how they're going to, the Democrats who were elected in purple districts and things, in Trump districts, are going to weasel their way out because they're saying, oh, well, I didn't vote for impeachment. I voted for investigation for whether we should impeach. It shouldn't play. I mean, it might play to some voters. It shouldn't play. If anybody's in that situation and you're listening to this, it shouldn't play because this shouldn't even be happening. We have the transcript. There's no reason to call a bunch of witnesses and get their opinions on things. And not even getting into the whole part of how they blocked an amendment today where the Republicans were trying to make it so they were allowed to call witnesses, and so the president's counsel was allowed to sit in on the meeting or on the questioning. I guess I'm not sure what it's called. They blocked the resolution basically, so the Republicans can't call witnesses. I believe it even says in there, which they were trying to get changed, is that the questions they ask have to be approved by the Democrats before they can ask the questions. So they can't cross-examine any of the witnesses. I mean, it's a joke. It's a total joke. So anyone that votes for it, they're voting for impeachment. They're voting to get an impeachment vote to go to the Senate, which will never pass. And even if there was a Senate hearing, I don't see how you could. I don't see how there's an impeachment happens off of a phone call that we have the transcript for. So you're gonna call a bunch of people up to give their opinions about the transcript or about the phone call. It doesn't make any sense. But it does seem that they're standing under center. The entire defense is blitzing, and they're just they're running hard counts over and over again, hoping somebody jumps, and nobody's jumped yet. And I don't see how anyone could jump. They're just going to have to take the sack on this one, and it might hurt them bad. Because hopefully the people in the districts that voted for Trump that for some reason put Democrats in that lied to them and told them they were going to be moderates or whatever happened, learn their lesson. And especially if they vote for this. Especially if they vote for this inquiry or whatever. I think is that what Pelosi was denying it is. They should never get reelected in those districts again. It's completely insane if anyone votes for them in those districts. The Republicans should be able to run an AOC type, which I don't think exists in the Republican Party, and they should win because this is a total joke. I mean, this was clearly a setup. It was clearly a setup, and they're just playing out their game plan, and it's not working because it would have worked if there was no transcript. So, one more time, before I end this, think about how this all looks if we don't have the transcript. It's a totally different situation. I can't even say myself that I wouldn't be like, oh man, this does not sound good. As slimy as what's going on, and I'm sure that would be, it'd be pointed out just like it's being pointed out now, it still would linger in the back ear, even the biggest Trump supporters' head. Man, did he just say something off the cuff? Not, did something get said there that wasn't necessarily malicious? But I mean, there would be all these questions. We have the transcript. This is not going to work for you, Democrats. You just need to give it up. I don't know why they don't just take the sack.